follow me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father, thank you for the opportunity to come together today to do the business of county. Ask you to give our commissioners guidance as they make decisions in the county. Very much will protect their employees.
Amen. I now call the meeting of the Linn County Commissioners to order. Approval of the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from last week as written.
I'll second that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Make a motion, we approve the claims in the amount of $366,524.42.
I'll second that motion. It's been moved and seconded to approve the claims in the amount of $366,524.42. Is there any other questions or discussion on this motion?
No.
All those in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Do we have a total on this, Katie?
It's
Right there?
right now. Yeah, that's
Change it. I guess that's it right there.
Okay, we have adds and abates 2022-00828 through 00853, totaling $16,673.76. I'll make a motion that we approve the adds and abates in that amount.
Is that a return or?
It's negative.
It's a return, I guess it's.
Return to us.
Yep.
So this, okay.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the adds and abates. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay.
What,
EMS or?
we got anything else?
well,
What is
the
this?
prisoner count if you want, or
I've
I
got
can
it.
let you know that we hired somebody in our office, Rose Moeller, and she'll start mid-March.
Yeah,
The
you speak
clerk
up.
will- Do what?
Speak up.
I did.
What is this here? Okay.
This is that silver hair.
Okay.
All right. EMS? Galen?
Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Galen Anderson with American Medical Response. It's been a little bit of a lower volume month in historical trends for month February. Right now, we're sitting at 43 transports. It usually trends about around 55 or 60 at this point, so it's been just kind of the way it's been. 8 transports in the last 7 days, and the only other real thing to touch on is we have EMT Josh Gillen, who are celebrating his 1-year anniversary with AMR. And we also have a paramedic that you're familiar with, Louis Alloy, one of the operations supervisors that you see here occasionally, who are celebrating 10 years with AMR. He wasn't on duty today, but just wanted to recognize him. And I really think that's all we have going on. Anything for me?
I don't have anything.
I don't have anything. Thank you, Galen.
Have a good week.
You. Sheriff?
Good morning, Commissioners. Morning.
Kevin Friend, Linn County Sheriff. For our numbers, looks like we have 50 inmates in, had 8 releases this last week. Actually, I think we had 9, but one of them got on there after I had made my report. So we have 31 farmed in. I think 12 of those are marshals and the rest are Wyandotte. Had 96 911 calls, so that was up a little bit from last week. 4101 jail contacts, that was up quite a bit. Probably because I think last week we only had like 46 or 47 inmates, so those few more added a little bit more work in the jail. Had 556 calls for service. That was really high, but we had a pretty good last week. It was pretty, so people were out and moving around. Had 52 civil service papers. That's huge. Tells you your courts are back working and doing a lot of things. I think you guys know that, though, from activities over the past few weeks. We had 5 in inspections, 10 new cases open, 3 cases closed. We didn't work any vehicle crashes. SROs had 64 activities in the schools and had 106 bailiff contacts. That's people through the doors of the court. And 16 call for services were produced out of that and 6 livestock out calls. And that was our week last week. Any questions for me?
I don't have any.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good day.
Thank you, Sheriff Friend. Randy?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Randy Hegwald, Linn County Fire Department Emergency Management. I gave you the totals for last week of our calls. We had 14 for the week, brought our yearly total up to 63. On the fire department side, I would like permission to hire Alyssa Coyer for Station 940, which is Parker. That'll bring their total number up to 6 out of 15 positions allowed, and have that pending her pre-employment screening.
What was her name, you said?
Alyssa Coyer.
I'll make a motion we hire Alicia Coyer at the Parker Fire Station.
I'll second that motion. It's been moved and seconded to hire Alyssa Coyer for the Parker Fire Station pending her pre-employment screening
And it's always a hire on a 6-month probationary basis.
with a 6-month probationary basis. So, is there any other discussion?
Not on that. I did hand out some,
Hang on, well, we haven't voted.
oh, sorry.
Sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Randy.
I also handed out a kind of a blueprint of a tank drawing. Our Rangers that we pull behind our brush trucks, they recently had some tanks made out of aluminum. We're starting to fight those tanks with aluminum sitting there with water in them. They're corroding on the inside, creates like little lime deposits, plugs our filters up. These tanks are not going to work well for us. I'm working on getting quotes. I got one. I'm looking for another quote, but it's for that tank that I handed out. So I just wanted to kind of bring it to you guys' attention that I'm working on that and give you that to look at. And by next week, I'll get the quotes. The problem is they're a specialty tank and just not finding a lot of people that make them that are either plastic or stainless steel or something. So but we're going to have to do something with that. So.
Okay.
Emergency preparedness side, next week is the severe weather preparedness week. I'll be reaching out to dispatch about testing storm sirens, get that on Facebook and out to the community so they know it's happening. We'll have some other things going on, be posted on Facebook. So that is all I have unless you guys have questions.
I don't have anything, Randy. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. Okay, Health Department, Missy wasn't able to be here this morning, so 53 calls for her grand total on the activities log for last week. Jessica? We haven't voted on.
Good morning, Jessica Hightower. First off, I have the mowing bid that we opened last week. I've gone through it. Last year, we estimated 30 mowing instances, and they think that they're going to do 2 trimmings for the 2 locations that they're going to do trimming separately. So the total with those estimates in mind for this bid from Scarecrow Farm Lawn Care is $27,430. The second page there is what we've spent in 22 and 21 for lawn care. '21 we did it all in-house. 22 we did April was in-house, and then Scarecrow took over in May.
I thought our bid last year was closer to what the 21 was. I guess this was its actual cost though, I guess.
Yes.
Our bid.
And that's also including, so we had some equipment costs in 22 as well, and that's including our mowers. That's not just, so the contract mowing there was $20,165. That's what we paid Scarecrow last year. The rest was our costs.
Okay.
And that was for 2/3 of the year. May through.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you need a motion on this to approve the bid, or what's our action that we're taking?
So if we want to go ahead with this, I think we could do it today. I don't think, since this is an estimate on the number of mows, I don't think we put that total in the bid.
Right. The actual number could vary if they have to mow fewer times or more times. So what you would just do is,
This bid was just based on what we mowed last year.
or I would say your motion would approve the bid based on the per mowing cost and the number of anticipated mowings.
This figure for 2023 was based on the amount of mowings we did
The
last year.
figure, no, the figure for 2023 is based on the bid from Scarecrow for this year, which is this page.
It's 30 it's based on 30, did we do 30 mowings last year? That's what
Yes.
I'm asking.
Oh,
I'm saying, is it the same amount of, I didn't look at that.
I didn't count how many we did last year.
Is it the same amount of mowings or?
Same amount we bid on last year. I don't know if, do you know how many mowings they did last year? Okay.
It says there 30 mowings.
That's what this estimate was based on, yeah.
It's, okay, hang on. No, it's not broken out in my, it's only by check date, and they submitted several invoices at a time, so I don't have that number in front of me. I can get with Joyce and try to look that up if you want to wait for that, or,
I mean.
We're
if-
paying so much per mowing.
per mowing. So, per mowing, the total there is 905.
What was it last year? Yeah.
I don't have that in front of me.
905 this year.
That's what their bid is.
Yeah. Can we look and see what it was last year?
I can look.
Okay.
Okay, next I have a couple of grants. These are 2 that we do every year. The first one is the Summer Youth Employment Grant. This is the one where we grant money to local employers to hire local youths between the ages of 16 and 21 for summer help. We are going to do 10 again this year, 10 grants. Last year, we bumped it up to 10 and filled all of our spots and had extra applicants left over. So we think 10 is a good number. The only change from last year to this year is that we've added in here that taxing entities are not eligible because we have cities and libraries apply, but we have so many applicants that they get kind of, they're the first ones taken out of the pile, so we don't want to waste their time. So we've added that in. The grant maximum is $1,200 per employer. The requirements are they have to, the employer has to pay the employee at least $8 an hour, and we will reimburse the first $4 for up to 30 hours a week for a maximum of 10 weeks over the summer.
And this is budgeted out of your economic
Yes,
development?
it is. It's budgeted.
And that's something we've done before. I don't have a problem with it.
We've done it for several years in a row, yes.
Do you need a motion to approve it?
I think
or-
so,
I think you should, yeah.
because this total is over my limit.
I'll make a motion that we continue with the Summer Youth Employment Grant Program for 2023 under the current guidelines.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to continue with the Summer Youth Employment Grant Program under its current guidelines for 2023. Any other discussion?
No.
All those in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carried.
The Economic Development Committee will look at those applications at our April meeting, and then I'll bring you a list the week after that of who's being awarded. The next one I have is the Community Development Grant. We've done this 3 or 4 years in a row. We usually have all 4 grants applied for and awarded. This one is 4 $250 grants, and they go to community events. So the farm tour last year got one. We've done one for Parker Days. We've done one for Sugar Mound Arts and Crafts Festival. So events that have been kind of put together by a community group are who is eligible for these. So the total on this one will be $1,000 if all 4 are awarded
And it's in your economic development budget.
in my
as well.
budget. Yes.
I'll make a motion that we continue the Linn County Economic Development Grant, Community Development Grant Program for 2023.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded to continue with the Linn County Community Development Grant for 2023. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
The last thing I have on my list today is we have the Economic Development Committee is putting together, we're hosting actually a Youth Entrepreneurship Challenge. It will be on May 7th at the Pleasanton Community Center. We have a class from Pleasanton who has been working really hard this semester. They've put together executive summaries. They're going to do 4-minute presentation and a trade show. All 3 events will be judged. And the top 3, well, the first place winner will attend a statewide competition in April at K-State. And then we will be awarding some prizes. This is funded by Network Kansas that we sign an agreement with every year for them to help us fund projects like this in the county. So the trade show will be open to the public if anyone would like to come through and take a look and see the hard work that these kids have put in. And also, if there's anyone who would like to judge an event, I need some more judges. So let me know if anyone would like to judge. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't have anything.
I don't.
Okay.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John?
Sean West, Public Works Administrator. The first thing I have for you is a 3 to 5 year equipment plan that I was asked for. The first sheet is going to go over equipment, and it's color coordinated to show you what years we plan on replacing the equipment. It also gives you the equipment number, the year, the mileage, and the estimated replacement cost. The second sheet takes those costs by year, looks at what is in the capital or special equipment fund currently, and tells you how quickly we would have to put money back into that fund before that equipment would deteriorate that funding. I planned on just providing this to you today and then answering any questions. And when Danny's back present, going over it. Obviously, with the age of our equipment, this would change year to year as I met with the shop foremans on what equipment had breakdowns or made the top of the list. If you'll notice at the top of that list, we had planned on, it'd be about 6 lines down, road and bridge pickup. We planned on replacing the planning and zoning vehicle, the pickup that we use there. The reasoning behind it is the jobs that we have for Darren, the people that he has to chauffeur around to do those jobs, and the equipment that he has to keep in the vehicle. As we've spoken before, I've been unable to complete this in the normal bid process because of availability of trucks or the inavailability. And I've been able to go out and follow the recommendations of the people I spoke with, not only the dealers, but the state, in trying to conform as best as I could. And I have another bid for you, or a recommendation. This one's from Victory Motors. It's for 2002 Chevy.
22.
Is a 2022. The 2022 actually saved us about $2,500 on the 2023 bid. And it's also my understanding is a V6, and the fuel economy was better than what we were looking at prior to on my first recommendation.
And is it equipped at a lower level than that one was?
This is equipped at a higher level than what you would find most fleet vehicles, but those vehicles are not available because of the ordering process and the fact that they're spoken for at this point, which is why we had to go out of the parameters. But this one is, as you can see, nearly $5,000 lower than the last one. And the vehicle that we would be replacing would be sent to the road shop to replace a 1996 truck being used by the South shop with 277,000 miles on it.
And this was 5,000 cheaper than the one we seen last week, right?
That is correct.
And it was also a 2022.
That is correct.
What year is the old truck that you're moving to Road and Bridge?
I don't have that in front of me for some,
One you're driving now.
It's 04.
It's a 97.
it's a
97.
97 and, but its mileage is less than 45,
48.
48. So compared to the 277,000, it
Okay.
does have quite a bit more service life left to it.
We got money in the budget for it, right? We've got money in the budget
Yes, in the special equipment, yes, we have.
to cover this.
We've got enough in planning and zoning to cover the 38, and because of moving the vehicle and not having to replace from the South Shop's budget, I would remove the remainder from special equipment, the 2,600 from their budget as the equipment that they're receiving.
I'll make a motion that we approve the purchase of the truck for planning and zoning from Victory Chevrolet.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded to approve the purchase of the planning and zoning truck from Victory Chevrolet. Is there any other discussion?
Need to include the purchase price and
With a purchase price of $40,614. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
The next thing I had on my list was, and spoke to Gary about, I had a request from Mr. Willard for a letter of reference for a grant. This is for an elderly and disabled independent living in Prescott, and the terms of it would be very similar to the request last week, would be a grant of support stating only that it fit our comprehensive plan and is needed in the county with no monetary support.
I don't have a problem with that. I'll make a motion. We give him the letter.
Okay. I'll second that motion.
he needs it today, right?
Yes, the grant's due at midnight.
Which means that somebody will have to sign it today after I get it written. And I can't write it until I get something from him showing me what it is we're doing. So if he's got an application filled out, or if he's got, a flyer. I mean, I was able to write the one I wrote for the young lady last week because I had the specs on the grant and I had her.
I can have him email that to me and then email it to you before you leave here today.
What time do we need it by? I mean,
Well, we'd need it before we get done with the meeting today, so I can go right over there and write it and get one of you guys to sign it.
Okay.
I can get that for you. The next thing I had was checking,
All those in favor? Aye.
apologize.
You're fine.
The next thing I had was checking on emails between Gary and I about the park policy changes.
Yeah, there's no problem with that.
Okay. Do we need to bring that in?
Probably need to incorporate it into the,
And those policies were adopted here.
yeah, we'll need to incorporate it into the policies. I was wanting a copy of the whole policy book, but do you have such a thing?
I can get you a copy. I tried to find it online, but I'll get it to you today.
You sent me the old policy on UTVs, but I wanted to figure out how it fits into the whole picture, because we'll do a resolution that will reference what part of that is being replaced. And so I need a little more specifics about it.
I'll get it to you today.
Sean, it's been brought to my attention too, that up at the lake, that there's a lot of traffic in there on the weekends. Some weekends, lots of boats. And we're not open with the marina. I just wonder, what could we do about that? Is there anything?
I'll check to see when our spring schedule should change very rapidly.
Good weather, and there's been lots of it's up there on weekends is what I've been hearing.
I'll get with Sherry and find out those changes. I used to know them by heart, but since I've been out of there for a little bit, I'll bring those to you and tell you what our options are next week.
Okay.
Mr. Mitchell tested this last Monday and got a first time go on a CDL, so he started the landfill today. So our second operator has gone through the CDL program and successfully completed it, and he did it in about half the time. So he did an excellent job, and we're almost, I think this starts our second week on our operator that's in training now. So I anticipate within the next week or two, he'll be testing on his CDL for his permit. At Mr. McCullough's request, I spoke with Weber Heat and Air and was checking on the HVAC bids, but he needed some stuff from me for the courthouse. I'm still working on that project. And I also need 5 minutes for legal. And that concludes what I had for you today, and unless you have any questions.
I don't have any.
I don't even.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Sean.
Thanks.
Okay.
Okay, for the mowing, questions that you had, Joyce was able to pull some information for me. We have 25 weeks of invoices from Scarecrow for last year, and they didn't do the whole mowing season. They started in May. We also, towards the end of the summer, when we added the Justice Center, the invoicing was $8.55 a week.
So it went up $50.
Yes, for this year's pay.
5 on the line, okay.
Yes, a mow. I don't think so last year we had a drought in the summer. We don't know what's going to happen yet this summer. I still don't think we want to specify an amount.
Right.
But those are the numbers from last year.
You said there was 25?
25, yes, that they mowed.
And how much per mowing was it last year?
Last year,
$8.55.
$8.55
So if you take,
after we added the Justice Center.
you take 5 times $8.55, that gets you what? You're better at that than I am. If we figured it on 30 to 30 basis,
Be $4,275.
so that would put their total about 24,000, 25,000 for last year.
If they did the whole season.
They had done 30 mowings,
Okay.
just to compare them apples to apples.
What do you think?
I could work.
I don't have a problem with it. This- Have to have that extra help if I'll make a motion to accept the mowing contract for with Scarecrow Farm
At $905 per mowing.
mowing.
I'll second that motion. It's been moved and seconded to accept the mowing bid from Scarecrow Farm in the amount of $905 per mowing. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Do you need the bid to write up the contract?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to scan it for me and then I'll hand it to you.
Thank you, Jessica. Okay. Do we want to take care of Sean's legal?
That'd be fine.
How does that motion need to be made?
You be going into, executive session for legal issues to, preserve attorney-client privilege. I'll get it out.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we go into executive session with Sean for 5 minutes for legal to preserve attorney-client privilege.
I'll second it.
We'll return at 9:40. All those in favor? Aye. No, we just say there's no action.
Right.
There is no action taken in executive session, from executive session. What else we got? That's it? You didn't have an announcement? Nope. Okay.
You don't have anything, Darren?
Do you have anything else?
At some point, I want to have an executive session with the commissioners to talk about some issues,
Okay,
but I think it really needs to be with Danny's here too, so,
I agree.
we'll do it next week.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, there's nothing else to come before the commission meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Make that motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that motion. All those in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned.
You done with these?
I am.